A very good evening, everybody. And today on Circle of Cricket India, we have with us Mr. Sourav Ganguly. Of course, we need no introduction. And how has how life been after cricket for you right now?
It's been different. You know, everybody has to stop playing someday. So I'm involved in various things with the game. It has changed over the years, but it's been with cricket in a different way. And then you have your own personal stuff to do.
Okay. And since you haven't been playing the game for quite some time now, what is that usual hobby that you have that you make sure that you do almost every day in your daily routine?
No, I don't think it's fair to say it as a hobby because all of us need to work. So you do different things. As I said, you're involved in the game. I'm the president of CAB, so I spend a bit of time there. Then I do my own personal business work. So there's a lot which goes around. You know, when you played cricket, it was only the game what you did. But once you finish playing, there are a lot of things which go around.
Okay. And if you specifically had to talk about just one moment in your career, on your cricketing career, which would be that moment be that made you feel like I have achieved what I've achieved in the country right now?
No, I think these are two different things. You know, one moment in your career and the other feeling of achieved what you achieved. You know, my first Test match 100 will always be special because you actually made you believe that you could score runs at this level. And you were good enough at this level to play for a long period of time.
Okay. And now coming towards your book, A Century is Not Enough. So that's the name. And could you just tell us why exactly is it A Century is Not Enough, the book's name?
You know, it's not an autobiography. So the reason why you put that name is because, you know, when you play for a long period of time, and that's with every cricketer, you know, it's about the circle you go through. It's the pressures, it's how you feel when you get 100, it's how you feel when you're not scoring runs, and you know, the various issues which a cricketer deals with in his long playing career, performances, non-performances, pressures, selection issues. So it's a book which tries to reveal that how you have to handle everything to complete a full career in cricket. It's not always as it looks from outside. It is not always as rosy or as you see it. So it's actually more than an autobiography.
Okay, wonderful. So in another segment that we have right now, where we will talk about a few rapid fire questions which we'll put on across to you. Okay, your favorite opening partner, Sachin or Sehwag?
Both actually, and opened a lot more with Sachin. But if you ask me, my favorite opening partner, Sachin and Sehwag.
Okay. And your favorite test done, 131 at Lord's or the 141 in Brisbane?
The first one will always be special, 131, because it's your first one.
And if you had to pick one ODI ton, which is your favorite among the 183 that you scored at Taunton and the 141 at Adelaide, which would it be?
I think it was my first World Cup 100, 183 at Taunton. Okay. So that will always be special. Anything first always remains special.
Okay. And which spinner is toughest to space? Was it Warner or Murli for you?
I thought Murli was a lot difficult because he took it away from me, being a left-hander.
Okay.
Warren, actually the ball came back into you and it allowed you to play with the turn. So Murli was probably a bit more difficult.
And the most memorable overseas win that you had, if I had just named three of them, say Headingley, Adelaide and Rawalpindi, which would you pick among the three?
I think Adelaide, probably because Australia was a very strong team then, probably the best team of our generation. So Australia were very strong, and I think that would probably be the best overseas. And we won in England in a series in 2007.
Yeah.
So that was also very special.
And your favorite ground that you like to play in, Eden Gardens or Lord's?
Eden Gardens. You know, it's my home ground, but Lord's is also very special.
Okay. Now, just a couple of questions where you'll ask here. So, who was that person which actually made you feel very comfortable in the dressing room?
You know, it's very difficult to identify who, but all of them. You know, I played in a generation where they were fantastic players.
Yep.
Sachin, Rahul, Viru, Anil, VBS, Harbhajan, Zahid, all of them. They were fantastic individuals.
And if you had to talk about one annoying roommate, if there was somebody in during that time, who would it be?
Actually, when we started playing, we got single rooms. So there wasn't any annoying, but luckily we got single rooms. because he didn't want somebody to in the night snoring when you're sleeping. So,
Okay.
so that was very, very important.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. And who's the better captain among Virat and Dhoni according to you?
Both are brilliant. Dhoni is obviously a lot more experience, has World Cup wins.
Yep.
Virat hasn't yet played a World Cup, captained
Yep.
a World Cup, but it's too early to say. Once Virat finishes his circle as captain, then you can actually say who do you feel who is good. But I think Virat has got in him the ingredients to be a very, very good captain.
And again, this is a tricky one for you. If you had to select one best captain for the Indian team, would it be Dhoni, Virat, or Sourav Ganguly? Who would be one and not the three?
Since you put my name in, I think you'll have to select.
Well, I think I've selected mine, which is definitely going to be Sourav Ganguly. Okay, so I have a couple of questions which actually came in from fans itself, where people were actually very keen to know it, and it's not actually revealed that much on the internet as well. So there's a saying that when Sourav was coming into the Ranji side of the Bengal team, you actually replaced your brother into the team. So,
yes, I did. He was left out for the team, and I got picked in his place.
Okay, that came out in the news. So could you explain the situation a bit? What exactly happened at that moment of time when it came in?
I went home. I was giving my board exams, my class 12 exams, and I went home and I saw everybody quiet in the house. I didn't even know I kept my books and was asking food for my mom.
Yeah,
I was very hungry. I went straight to tuitions from practice, and so as she gave the food, she said, "You playing the finals?" I said, "Oh, is it?" Okay. I said, "In whose place?" So he said, "Your brother's." So everything was quiet for a good half an hour, 40 minutes. But then they all came over it, and I played the finals. But then that was only one game, and he came back.
What is that one thing that you told your brother when
I didn't tell him anything. I didn't tell him anything. I just didn't know how to react. This was very young then. I was about 17. Okay. So I didn't know how to react.
Okay. And another question that a lot of our fan base has been asking us, if initially during your career, were you using your brother's kit to ensure that since you were a right-hander initially and you moved into being left-hander because to fit into your brother's case? Was it actually true, or it's something
because he was already playing for the state, so he had the best pads and the best gloves and the best bats. Okay. So invariably, as a younger brother, you go and pick it. Yeah. You go and use his kit, and actually in my family, all of us are right-handers and they bat left-handed. Okay. So even my brother, they're all normally right. They eat right. They throw with the right hand, but they all bat left-handed.
Okay, wonderful. And then this shift wasn't that difficult for you as well?
No. I'm also a right-hander who only batted left-handed. Rest everything I did right-handed.
So now we have a round where we actually want to know from Sourav himself if he knows his cricketing career in the best possible manner. And Sourav, if I had to throw a few questions on you, if you answer them correctly, you do not eat the rasgullas, but if you answer them wrong, you have to have a bite of it, if not the entire thing at once, since of course, being a Bengali, you must be loving them for sure. Okay, so I'll start off with the questions. India does not lose a single test match whenever you scored 100. Is that true or false?
True.
Okay. Who was your first ODI wicket?
First ODI wicket?
Yep. Your first ODI wicket. Okay, should I give you options now?
Yeah.
That's John T. Rhodes, Inzamam ul Haq, Brian Lara, and Aravinda De Silva.
I can't. I think Aravinda De Silva.
Okay, you got it right there. Perfect.
And it was a massive guess actually. Because I went to Sri Lanka after England, so I thought I must have picked a wicket on that trip, and it has to be Aravinda De Silva.
Okay, wonderful. And if you had to pick the 50th wicket, who was it? I'll give you options again. Was it Shahid Afridi, Herschel Gibbs, Hayden, or Jayasuriya? Who was the 50th that you sculpted?
Hayden?
No, you're wrong in that. That's Shahid Afridi, of course. Afridi. So we'll just
okay. I'll take a bite. I'll take a bite.
Thank you so much. Very tasty, definitely. So moving on to the other question. Your first ODI century was against which team?
Sri Lanka.
Wonderful. I didn't even have to give options. Okay. And how many times in your career have you been dismissed on 99 in Test cricket, if you know it exactly?
Twice.
Twice? That's the right answer. Which was that bowler who dismissed you the most times in ODI cricket? I'll give you...
In ODI?
Yep, in ODI cricket. I'll give you the options. So that's Brett Lee, Waka Yunis, Alan Donald, and Chaminda Vas.
Vas. Chaminda
Wonderful.
Vas.
You seem to be knowing your career
Chaminda
pretty well, definitely. Who was your captaincy inspiration when you were a young cricketer? You were aspiring to be a captain of the Indian team. Who was that one person you actually looked at? Okay, he's one great captain that really.
I never followed anyone so closely, but I have played against some super captains. I think Nasir Hussain was one. Steve was probably the best. I think he's had a great side when he took over. I think these two would probably be my best captains who I played against. I never followed before because I never thought I would be captain someday.
Okay. Since the IPL is on right now, tell us about if you were owning a team, who would be the 11 players that will definitely be there in your team if you had to just create one randomly as of just out of thought?
Oh. It's a wish list. It's a wish list because you will not get on 11 of them. Gale.
From whichever background.
Gale. I'll do the current season. The current players who are playing. Gale.
Works.
Kohli, De Villiers, KL Rahul, Williamson, MS Dhoni, Sunil Narayan, Kuldeep Yadav. My quicks would be the fast bowler from Rajasthan, a young guy. Can't remember his name. Jeffrey Archer is the Rajasthan quick. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar would be 2. Jasprit Bumrah.
Okay. So guys, there's the 11 Souravs 11 that you might see in future as well.
You might not because you'll never get all of these in one team.
Wonderful. Okay, so on that note, we come to the conclusion of this show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sourav, for being on the show. It was great. This is Umesh Lakhmani signing off from Circle of Cricket. Thank you, guys.